What up, world? Waxvillain, Seattle, Washington. You already know what it is. Welcome to Waxvillain Fireside Chat. Tonight we're kicking off the global edition. We got Memory Records co-founder Milanda Deidre and Carol Komenda. Keep it locked. We'll kick things off real soon.
Ráno, když se probudím, s tebou chce se mi spát. Tvoje kůže je tak senzační, oni nechám si stát. Jenže budík zvoní, baby, nesnáším ten song.
Shout out to everybody online. We see it. Tonight's gonna be real special, y'all. This is what's playing right now. Mama's in the house. We see it. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up?
Man, there's a hot one right here. I was just spinning it.
Cool, yeah.
I love
I got it.
We'll give it a couple ticks for. Oh, I see Carol has entered the building. Let me send a request real quick. There we go. The invite is sent. Wow. Wow. This is really, really exciting.
Yeah, greetings from Prague.
Yeah.
It's 3 a.m.
Carol,
right now.
It's great to see you.
Nice to see you.
Oh my
guys.
gosh. Congratulations on these right here. This is the new one, but I was spinning this for the people. Love this one.
Oh man, thank you so much. You're kind.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you all so much. I believe it's what, 2 a.m. your time right now?
Yeah, it's 3 a.m.
3 a.m. My goodness. All right. You either up late or up early. I don't know which one, but we're grateful to have you here. This is really special. We're kicking off Waxvillain Fireside Chat Global Edition. And for those that don't know, I connected with Memory Records last year. It was really exciting for me to kind of learn about soul from Prague, Czech, and how this label and this gang of artists were really championing a lost sound. Also, we heard from Nina in the cover of My God Has a Telephone. And so finally, a year later, we're connecting by way of a live stream on the heels of the follow-up release from Carol right here. We're going to talk about this in a minute. But gentlemen, again, thank you so much for being here. Let's kick off with some general introductions. Tell us who you are and your role with Memory Records.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will start with this. My name is Milan. I started this label with a friend of mine, Oscar. We run a music venue together in Prague. We organize concerts and theater plays. And we decided also to start a label in 2018.
Okay.
So that's what we do.
I love that. Go ahead, Carol.
Yeah, my name is Karol and I am from Prague. I'm living here like I think 12 years or something now. And in the past I was playing in Milan's club. So that's how we met.
Okay.
And we have some shows like Jimi Hendrix tribute evenings. So I was playing guitar and stuff, and then we start to making some music together.
Very special, very special.
Yeah.
So Milan, let's kind of take it from the very basics here. What inspired y'all to create the record label, and what is the goal behind what you're doing?
I think at the very beginning of the label was the name Jaromír Leffler, the Czech soul legend, because I'm a kind of a DJ too. I play music, I play records, and I collect records. And in the 60s in the Czech Republic, but not only in the Czech Republic, but in Europe, there are like so many artists covering soul tunes from America. You know, all the James Brown, Otis Redding music. There you can find some obscure version of these old songs on 45s in the Czech Republic, but also in in like French language and German language, Italian, and so on. So I collect these records. I have like dozens, like hundreds of them, of these obscure covers. And when I found out about Jeremy Leffler, he did like 3 official releases on a Czech label called Supraphon, and I found out that he recorded some more tunes before he emigrated from the Czech Republic, from the communist regime back then.
Yeah.
He made some songs, but they were never released. So we wanted to do it. So we released these like unreleased songs. It was 2 covers from James Brown's "It's a Man's World" and Otis Redding's "Fa Fa Fa," and we released it. Jaromír was in Prague. He was at the release party playing in the Czech Republic. His first show after no in Prague. His first show after 50 years at the release party. So that was the first record we released, and that was how the record label started. Yeah.
Wow, very interesting. Now, I want to go a little deeper and keep me honest here. I did have a couple of video calls with Jaromír, and he talked about how it was very difficult for artists to create music back in the day. Can you add a little to that? Is that true?
In the 60s, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it was difficult because there was the communist regime, There was little like liberty time from the year 66 to 68. And in that time, the artists had some kind of artistic freedom. But after that, there was then it's historical facts. There was the Soviet invasion in the year 68, and after that, like people were not allowed to do Western music anymore. So that was also the reason why he emigrated to the Switzerland, and that was also the reason why the songs he recorded were never released.
Okay. Okay. Oh, that makes sense.
Nice.
Now, Carol mentioned that you two connected in your club. But what do you remember about the first time that you saw Carol play? Tell us how the relationship kicked off and what made him a right fit for Memory Records.
I know, Carol, do you remember what was the first gig, how we connected? It was the Jimi Hendrix, or
I think it was Jimi Hendrix because one of the guitarists you used to have in your club, I think, died or something. He was playing Hendrix stuff. And I think it was around 2019, maybe, or 18. So, and after that, we had like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 5, no, 3 or 4 or 5 shows together. And I remember I had my like final show at school at conservatory, also in your club. So
yeah,
we spent some time together.
yeah, it was crowded. And then we started this cover thing because this record, Jaromír Leffler, it was the first and last old record we released. After that, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
After that, we started to produce our own music, and we started with Nina, and we decided to follow kind of this tradition of covers of soul music. But nowadays I think nobody is doing it anymore, to take contemporary music and to do covers in different language, at least not in soul music, I think, anymore. Or I don't know any other labels. And because we like these records, we like to collect it, and we like to release it, so we decided to start this new series of our own covers. And this record was the first like cover from the cover series, and then this one was the second, Karol and jeho kapela.
Mm,
And because we love Meyer Hawthorne, of course, his
yes.
music, his big inspiration, and I kind of thought like Karol's voice fits, in there, and he did amazing job with the with the song. Yeah.
It was quite challenging because it's in a Czech language and I'm Slovakian, so it's very similar, but still it's hard for me, you know. So
Sure, sure. Now, Carol, tell us how you started making music. Singer, songwriter, guitarist. I saw the music video. You're playing the drums. You're doing too much, brother. Tell us how you got started. How did you get started?
man, thank you so much. You're kind, but I think in this song, all these other instruments are not so like hard to play that part. You know, it's very easy. I don't know. I think so. It's
I can't even like
but
walk and chew bubble gum. So I mean, you're miles ahead of me.
okay. But I started as a guitar player when I was, I don't know, 6 or something, or maybe less, because my father is a guitar player. So it was a lot of guitars in our house.
Hmm.
And so I was just playing and I was listening to bands like Kiss or something, really like straight ahead rock, old classics. And when I was like 17, I discovered Richie Kotzen. That's my really biggest influence. He was playing with Poison or Mr. Big, maybe you know the bands. Yeah, and he was like the typical singer, songwriter, guitar player, like Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, and all that, bands. So I started to sing more, and yeah, then I went to conservatory, and there is some other instruments like piano, or I just started to practice drums because my girl left me. That's why.
Shit.
So I had plenty of time for that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your approach when it comes to creating music?
Yeah, it's a hard question. Sometimes it depends, but it all starts with some maybe guitar riff or guitar harmony, guitar chords, and after that I'm finding some melody with no language, with just blah 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 something, and then I'm trying to put some words into that, but that's the really like hardest part for me. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And so when it comes to your follow-up 45 right here, what inspired this? Talk to us about this record right here.
Oh yeah, so I kind of see myself to trying to be Lenny Kravitz or something, because I like I like this kind of musicians like Prince or that Richie Kotzen. Like they can do everything. They can write that song, But it was also challenging, and I have to thank Milan that he was calling me because we were talking that it can be fun idea to do it this way, to play everything by my own. So it's just fun project, and I'm really happy with the results.
It's interesting that you say Lenny Kravitz because as I listened over and over again to it, I was feeling something very R&B-ish. And especially when we get to the chorus there, that makes a lot of sense, that Lenny Kravitz type of vibe and energy there, especially
Nice.
around the chorus. So really good stuff there.
Thank you very
Now,
much.
one of the questions I also wanted to ask you, because I know you're a guitar player and you mentioned that it was something that your father played. Is there a story behind a guitar that's maybe special to you? Anything stand out about your weapon of choice when you're playing?
Like you mean some type of guitar, like or
Is there one of your guitars that's maybe special to you, has significant
yeah.
meaning behind it?
Yeah, I don't have it right now, but I have. This one is new, completely, and it's a one of a kind. It's from Czech brand, and the name is Bad Stroke.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the newest one, so that's special. But I have really old one, and it's a Gibson ES 335, And one of a friend just gave me that after one show. He saw me first time playing, and that's really like a story from a book. You know, that's
Mm.
just here is your guitar, and it's really now the prices are bigger and bigger, so it's really like almost a car. You know,
Yeah. How did you choose the color?
this fun. I don't know, maybe Prince, but
I
I
was
was
gonna
not
say
really.
Purple Rain, baby.
Yeah, maybe that's a song, but not really. You know, I had my first EP called Secret, and it's in this color, and I just like always. I like pink, the not pink. What is that? It's a purple. Yeah, bro. my my English is getting better, better.
You're doing fantastic, brother. Now, you gave us a couple names, but when it comes to soul music, who are the artists that really inspire you? Who are you perhaps listening to today that are top of mind?
Oh, so maybe old classic like Stevie Wonder or Ray Charles. Um, but I don't know who. Maybe that Lenny Kravitz also. I think he have that all that soul influences, and all of the blues guitar players I like Stevie Ray Vaughan
Mhm.
or I don't know, man. Black. I like really a lot of rock, but also black kind of like Black Crowes, if you know that
Yep.
band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or something in that style that's really like 60s and 70s. Yeah, so
That's a good time period. I tend to go like, I always tell people like 68, 69. We'll maybe start to cap things off at 74. But one thing I've learned is that even getting into like 1979, 80, and 81, sometimes you get that old sound. And so records
mhm,
from early 80s, late 70s
mhm,
still kind of fit that space. Far and few between, but that was something that I learned from Greg Belson. He would talk about with gospel music, especially the soul.
mhm,
Oftentimes they were working on old equipment into the 80s or even early 90s, and so it still kind of captured that essence from the past. So those are kind of the things that really move me when I'm kind of trying to find that perfect sound, that style that moves me, that I'm looking for, that's really hard to describe. um, Milan, talk to me about the rest of the label, because we've got a variety of different artists. We talked about Nina. We've got this young lady right here. How did you start to recruit and connect with different musicians from the area and kind of bring this sound together? How did
Mm.
everybody kind of buy into this mission of, soul music, the Czech, the past, covers? How does it all come together?
Yeah, I think it's everything is kind of connected with our venue because our venue is called Studio Paměť in Czech, which means studio memory in English. And all the artists we kind of have on our label sometime played at the venue, and we kind of became more connected to each other. We became friends. And it's the same with Nina and with Anna Maria and also with Jaromir. So we try to, build kind of a group of musicians and friends around the label and cooperate on the project together. And also the name Jeho kapela means his or her band in English,
Okay.
and it's the same group of musicians. Also, my friends. one of the musicians also is my DJ colleague. He plays piano. Shout out to Adam. And we have this. We want to do it as a kind of studio project, studio band, as you know from the other labels like Deptones. They have the Dep Kings.
Yeah.
So we have Jeho and the A Cappella. So that's the band of the label, and we always try to work with singers that kind of fit with the original song. So that's we do it, and with this new 45, actually it's the start of a new series where we want to kind of support also own music. You know, it's the only record that is not a cover, and it also have a different catalog number starting with 9. But we we want to continue with the covers, but on the other hand, we want to start this new series, and we will also release like own original music somehow connected with soul. It doesn't have to be so like pure like this one. It's more like
Yeah.
blues, rock, and
Yep.
soulful thing, but it has this kind of retro vibe, and we like it. So that's what we are gonna do.
I love it. I think there's something special about original works. Oftentimes with the California soul scene, by and large, we see covers. But every now and then we get an original track. And I think that really shows the depth of the artist, and kind of builds on the success of what we love so much with those cover tracks right there. I'd love to kind of dive into what the scene is like out there. Can you describe what indie music is like in the Czech? Talk about what it's like at your club. Are there soul nights? Give us a lens into vinyl record collecting, because you could have done all this digitally, but you really specialize in putting out 45s. So talk to us about the music scene out there, indie artists, labels, and talk to us about like the community.
Yeah. At the beginning, I can say that Karol is playing with Ben Kristoval, which is one of the biggest stars in Czech Republic. He plays with his band. And
Yeah,
what kind of music? What would you say they do? It's
yeah.
R&B.
Sometimes it can be, but I think he is in that position like a superstar in our country because he's mixing a lot of styles. So sometimes it can be R&B, sometimes it can be rap or rock music. So yeah, but to answer that question, for me it's maybe harder because I'm really in maybe more rock stuff or something. So I'm not really checking some soul bands out there. But I think Milan's work is really unique in terms of this vinyl stuff, or really he's into that music so much. So that's the
Yeah.
cat, you know.
Now, when you say big superstar, like what do you mean when you say big superstar?
I mean, we were playing like venues like O2 Arena, which is like 15,000 people, or sometimes we are playing festivals where can be like 20 or 30,000.
That's
It's really
huge.
big, like yeah, it's really nice big yeah shows, and I'm very lucky that I can do that, and I'm just playing the guitar there in that band, so it's not really my songs, but I also did some guitar parts on the CDs or stuff, but but my band is still really underground, so I'm living two worlds
I love
right now.
underground. I love
Yeah.
underground. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and actually, underground. That's I think what characterize or what is the soul music in Czech Republic. I think there is no like big scene. The only scene connected to soul in Prague is the Northern Soul scene.
Yeah,
These guys, but it's more like a subculture, and they dig this particular kind of old rare soul 45s. So there is a soul scene. They organize Prague all-nighters. There people come there, and it's all about dancing and
yeah.
moves and playing 45s. But apart from that, I think there is no like band that would be pure soul. The only pure soul music is, I think, what our label is doing. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But there are some funk bands. We have like one quite famous rap and funk band which is called, yeah, AR. I don't know how is it called in English. H
Yeah.
JAR. And
It
there are
means like
some
yeah,
what
like a spring. It means like spring,
yeah.
right? like metal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there are some funk bands and funky bands, but in my opinion, they don't have the real sound, the real funk and soul sound. I think what we are trying to do is to catch up with the retro soul scene, with the contemporary retro soul, and I think we are the only label or project doing this kind of music in Prague and Czech Republic.
Okay. Are vinyl records popular? Are there lots of record stores? Is it a thing?
Yeah, it's like everywhere else. It's popular. We have record stores, of course. There is this, kind of mm, revival of vinyl. Also, Czech Republic has I think the biggest vinyl producing company. Like many records you don't even know are made in produced in the Czech Republic. It's called GZ Media, and I think it's the biggest factory in Europe at least.
Well, I'll tell you this. I can't tell you how many 45s I receive, and I see a little sticker on back that says check. So I
Mm.
know that there's something big going on out there because everybody in the States is getting their records pressed out there, right?
Yeah, because they kind of did this smart move, because when vinyl records, I don't know when was it, in the late 80s, early 90s, were just replaced with CDs. Most
Yeah.
of the factories just sold or destroyed the machines, but these guys, they kept the machines, and I think, like, I know, in the 90s, at some point of time, they were the only company that was able to produce records. And when the revival came in the 2000 something, then they were ready for to catch the wave.
Wow. Wow, that's wild. Okay. Okay.
Oh.
Now, Milan, you DJ, you collect records.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the records that move you. What would we see? What are some of your favorites that are on the shelf?
Man, it's always a difficult question. It's so many records. As I said, I love to concentrate on the covers, but regarding artists, one of my favorite artists from the US is Gil Scott Heron. I don't know if I pronounce it right.
Perfect.
That's my favorite, and I try to yeah, yeah, cool. Yeah, I think you have a bigger collection than me. I have
Love Gil
like
Scott Heron.
yeah,
Love
yeah,
Gil. Who else? Talk.
yeah. Most of the records you are showing, I have somewhere here as well. So that's my favorite. We also with Jaromir on this record, we did the cover of I'll Take Care of You, and this cover is inspired by the Gil Scott Heron late version of I Take Care of You. So it's kind of a tribute to Gil Scott Heron as well. Then there are so many artists, the classics, Curtis Mayfield,
Yeah.
uh, and all the other guys from the contemporary scene. I of course love Meyer Hawthorne, Aaron Fraser, Darren Jones and the Indications, yeah, and the Sharon Jones. Mm, we would love to make a Sharon Jones cover, but let's see how is it gonna work out. Yeah.
So I was going to ask you that, but since you're a Gil Scott Heron fan, I have to tell you this because I don't think a lot of people know about it, but if you were to go on YouTube and you type in Gil Scott Heron and Brian Jackson, The Baron,
Yeah.
you will find an unreleased soundtrack that they did for a movie that never came out. I had talked to Brian Jackson years back because I had found the YouTube video probably just by being curious. And
Mm.
Brian told me that somehow the masters got lost. But if you listen to that record, if you listen to the snippets on YouTube, it is by far the wildest Gil Scott Heron record you've ever heard. But it's only on YouTube. And since you're a fan, I wanted to share that with you. Let's talk about collaborations. You know, you talked about Daptone, Sharon Jones. Are either of you networking with labels or artists in the States?
Mm. Uh, kind of. We were in touch with Coal Mine. They dig the Ninaini Capella record.
Yeah.
They liked it. Apart from that, we are not really in touch with the big with Deftones. We are not in touch. Maybe we want to get in touch with them if we wanted to do the Sharon Jones thing. But we are in touch on Instagram with some of the labels. Yeah,
Keep up the networking. That's how it all starts. And I think it would be fantastic if when y'all go
yeah,
back
yeah.
to the cover series, if we get some Sharon Jones, you know? Carol, who would you like to collaborate with? If you could collaborate with someone, who would it be?
I think Milan because no, it's it was really very nice experience. So maybe we can do some another one. But from the stars, I don't know, like someone from America, right? Uh, ooh, wow, that's really hard. I don't know. I really like all these old like credits uh, musicians, but I don't know who can be like. I used to like really Chris Cornell, if you know
Yep, yep,
him, singer
yep.
from. I think he was from Seattle, like you, man. So
Yeah, Seattle's a great
and
place.
yeah, and so many nice grunge bands. So
Those are
that-
big names, though. Those are like, you
yeah,
got to climb the mountain just to get to the
yeah.
door.
So maybe one of these guys, but they are not really living right now, so it's hard.
Yeah. Let's talk about the impact of Memory Records. How is the community receiving the music? What is it like when y'all have a show or a record release? What's the response from the community out there?
Um, as I said, the soul community is not so huge. There is this, as I said, this Northern Soul community.
Hmm.
There is also a store called Second Shot. They sell these kind of London fashion clothes, and they also sell records, and they support us pretty much. And through this store, we have the contact to the Northern Soul community in Prague. Uh, Apart from that, you know, we always make the release parties at our venue, and it's more like the people connected with the venue who go to see the concerts than like a huge vinyl community. We are friends with the record stores owners. They also support us, and that's the connection with the like vinyl records collectors and DJs. The there is a little also like, I wouldn't call it community, but the group of DJs playing funk and soul. Uh, they usually buy our records as well, and of course around the world. I don't know how, but it started with Jeremy Leffler, and we have like hundreds of followers from around the world. People buy it. We send records everywhere to Paris, France, Japan, US, everywhere around the world. And we have also this distribution by Record Shack. It's,
Yes. Yeah.
do
I
you
know
know them?
Record Shack. Yeah.
Yerk. So he gives us also shout outs. He likes the work what we are doing, and he distributes the records. And then we have for US we have Rough Trade. They've
Yep.
been really nice to us. They always take our records. They sell it in New York and also online. So Even the sold out records, which is this one and this one, they still have it like a few copies. So if some of your followers want to buy the sold out records, they can do it with Rough Trade or with some other records in the US, like Brooklyn Records Exchange or Academy Records. Yeah.
Very good, very good.
Nice.
Are there any plans to do more work with Jaromir?
Maybe. Uh, let's see. Let's see. He's a big fan of Charles Bradley, and also he was friend with him. He told me that they met like 2 times, and they even had some drinks together. And we were
Wow.
thinking of maybe doing some little tribute to Charles, but that's just an idea.
Okay,
Let's see.
okay. What else can we expect this year from Memory Records in terms of releases? What should we be on the lookout for?
Yeah, like this is the latest. We until the end of the year we want to do and record and prepare one cover from the old cover series, like
Okay.
of a contemporary artist. So let's see what's gonna be. We don't know it yet, and maybe next year we want to also aim at the original work as well. So we want to continue with the two two series.
Okay. How many records do you look to put out every year? Is there a number you have in mind, or it's just kind of what you're feeling at the time?
Yeah, when we were talking about underground, I think that's the word that characterizes us. We usually put out like 2 records a year, which is not a huge number, but it's still like more like hobby project than a source of money.
No, totally. I get that. Let me ask this question. How long does it take y'all when you submit a record to the plant? How long does it take for you to get it back? Because in the States, I mean, it can be like minimum 6 months. Is that the same for you or no?
So I didn't get the question. Can you repeat
Yeah.
it?
So when you are sending music to the record plants to
Yes.
get pressed, how long does it take
Oh,
before
okay.
you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
it back?
I would say it's getting better and better. Like 2 years ago, it was crazy. It was like 9 months waiting time. But with this records, actually, we made only 100 copies. But it was like 2 months, something like that. But I think it would be the same even with 300 or 500.
That's
It's
amazing
getting better.
turnaround time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carol, what do you have in store for the rest of the year? What should we know about you? Where can we find existing projects? How do we stay up to date with what's coming from you?
Yes. So the biggest thing will be that we were talking about the Ben Christoval band. So we have, yeah, that's nice. We have planned so many shows around the Czech Republic. So I'm looking forward to that. But also, I'm with this song problem. I really like that Slovak language, and I want to try more songs in that style. So hopefully I can make some albums. So I have like 4 or 5 almost finished ones. So
Okay.
hopefully, because I don't have any full album, I have only 2 EPs and this single or some really old singles. So the full album will be so cool for me.
Wow.
So maybe that's my plan.
What would the album sound like if you could give us a lens and describe what a 33 and a third would sound like? We've heard 245s, but I'd be curious to know about the LP.
Yeah, I think it can have some more rock moments, like really straight ahead rock music. Then I also like I mentioned that grunge music, so it can have some riffs of little bit grungy. or also blues. Also, I can continue a bit of soul if Milan can help me, you know. And
Yeah, I was always, making like I think uh, too many points on the
yeah,
during the recording session. I think maybe it was too much.
no, 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 no. It's I really like the end of that, but I like that song. So he was really helping me to sound more soulful,
More
or
retro.
more, yeah, because I am really rock guy, no, or
Now,
something.
listen, I call it genre bending, genre
Yeah,
building.
yeah,
But I mean, like I said, going from hearing, this record to this record, it really shows the breadth of your artistry, and you're truly talented.
no,
I'm so
thank
glad that we were able to see that video so that we can put pictures and visuals in front of my followers so they can see and learn more about you. I
thank you,
think yeah, not a problem. I think when we see the 45, it's the tip of the iceberg. We hear a song title, but we don't understand the why for maybe perhaps why you created it. But when we're able to see you, in your element, that takes things to a whole nother level. So, I'm really glad that we have that. What inspired the video? How did that come together? Because to even get a video, that's a huge moment in itself right there.
yeah. It was recorded really in the same day, like we were doing all the stuff in the studio, like drums and bass and singing. I had some really little guitars before we use it, but everything it was really made in one day. Also the video, and after that, Nadan, that's the name of that video maker. He just did that after that. Yeah.
Shout out.
Shout out, yeah. But I'm really happy with the result, and it's really like I don't want to say ordinary, but it's really like calm and chill video. I think like the music. I think it suits good together.
I liked it. You had my attention, from start to finish. So ordinary or not, I found it to be original. I found it to be very authentic,
Yeah,
and I think
and
that's what matters most to us listeners when we're trying to connect to the music is
thank you,
is that authenticity. Being
and
intentional about what you do.
thank you, and also black and white. That's always the best, man.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. Milan, we're getting ready for the end of the interview, but I'd
Yes.
like you to tell us what do you want people to know about Memory Records? What should they leave this interview knowing about the label, your passion for the music, and even more so what you've done for the community? Having the club, being able to kind of have this collective of artists come together, creating this platform for them to release music and be heard globally.
Yeah, I want them to know about the covers because sometimes people, really don't think that covers are interesting, that they just copy some patterns and stuff. But in my opinion, when you do a cover, it can be like such an interesting thing, and that's our main product. And I want to let them know that there are also other covers, not uh, on our label, but on the old label called Supraphon. They can dig into the roots of Czech soul music. There are like, I don't know, like 50 songs, 50 soul covers from the 60s. They can have a look on Discogs, for instance, and that's our way. That's we follow the footsteps of the soul legend in from the Czech Republic, and we are also bringing the contemporary soul covers because nobody is doing it, and we want to, we and also we want to export music with Czech or Slovak lyrics and language abroad, and that's a funny thing because people, the musicians in the Czech Republic want to do music in English because they think they can sell it abroad, but actually like 99% they never do it, and we want to export music with with Czech lyrics abroad. So that's the different approach and the global approach.
I love it, and I'll
That's
tell
it,
you
I
what.
think.
When I've played Nina's record out, even when I played it on a mix a couple weeks ago, I had done a Sisters of Soul mix. Everyone loves that sound, and they come back
Yeah,
and they're like, what was this a cover of? Was this a cover before Aaron? And to hear the way that the instrumentation is different from the A to the B and the lyrics, I want you to know that we see you and we hear you and we're
yeah.
interested. And I
They
think
should
that
they should
we
go
want
for the
more.
record because it will be you know, so it's sold out already, but it's still you can still buy it in some of the stores, but soon it will not be available anywhere, I think.
I
So
tell
they should go
everybody,
for it.
listen, when 300 are pressed, that's like the magic number right there.
Yeah,
Like you got to jump on it when it's less than 500. 300 is the sweet spot. And I tell everybody,
yeah,
go to the stores that you mentioned, go to Discogs and jump on it because it's a special record and we just haven't heard anything like that before. So I want to personally thank you for everything that you do for the the indie music community, and the way that you're kind of delivering this new experience through covers, and I think keeping it true to the roots, right? To your point,
yeah.
y'all could have done that in English, but it wouldn't have had the same impact.
Sure.
And so, shout out to Nina. We see you. We love that record. My last
Yeah,
question for both of y'all. I ask all my guests this. Please, if you would, share a quote or mantra that you keep close to heart, or maybe it's just top of mind right now.
Oh,
Carol, can you start?
that's always the hardest question ever. Like you can say what you want. Like I just want to thank you, Vox, that we can talk right now together. It's really nice to be calling to America into Seattle. It's really nice city. I hope so I can visit it one day. And I also wanted to thank you, Milan, because he was calling me. He had the idea, and it was really a lot of fun, all that project, and I'm really happy with that. So it's so nice, and hope so we can maybe do something more together in the future, or I can play in his club again. So it's
Let's
also
do
very
it.
nice. Yeah, and thank you guys. Really, really nice to chat with you.
I love that. And
Yeah.
listen, next time we go live, we're gonna do it when it's time zone friendly for y'all. So I'll be getting up early or staying up late. I promise.
Maybe we
Sure.
will have some friends there also, some more people, but it's still nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like while Carol was talking up, I was thinking about the motto, and I think, for me or also for the others, the most important thing is to do whatever you want, if you believe in it and if you think it's a good thing, because then the success will come later, because we started this crazy cover stuff, and like some people were not believing like it can have success abroad, but it does, and you should believe in your ideas and in what you are doing. So that could be the like the sweet motto for you. And also thank you very much for having us. We really appreciate it, and also for the support, for the label. It's been amazing, so we keep in touch.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming. Before we go, let everybody know where we can find you. This is going to be streamed back by a lot of different people at different time zones. So where can we find you online? Give us the address. Give us your accounts real quick.
Okay. Milan?
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram. That's the main channel, Memory Records Prague. On the Instagram, you can buy this limited edition of 100 hand-numbered copies on Karol's Bandcamp, Karol Komenda Bandcamp, and you can still order it. There is not many copies left. There's like 20, 30, stuff like that. We have also website, Facebook, everything. So you can follow us on social media, Memory Records Prague.
Yeah, and it's same for me. Everywhere it's simple Carol Comenda, my name. We have Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, and this Instagram account. So just thank you for that. Yeah.
I love it. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. We're signing off. Waxvillain, Seattle, Washington. We're out of here.
Thank you, man.
Cheers from Prague.
Hope to